It's your boy, the Event Israeli People's Champ. I'm back with part three. I apologize for earlier. Got a little pissed off. And I wasn't pissed off at anybody, but just the situation, um, the state of Black people here in America. Um, it's frustrating. Um, the scriptures say oppression makes a wise man mad, would I guess be the best explanation I can give to you. So I needed to step away for a minute, take a nap, and uh, let it go for a minute. But I want to finish this topic up because I believe it's very relevant, and I don't know if I'm communicating the seriousness of it. I think it's symptomatic of a far larger problem. Is how I see it. Dramatic change is not a tidal wave. It's little ripples. That's what washes away the mountains. It's a stream that'll wash away a mountain over time. It's not a crashing tidal wave that changes everything instantly. And I think because it's so gradual, we we don't have to defend against it. And when you go back to the 60s, feminism didn't just come in one tidal wave in 1970 or even in 65 or even from 65 to 70. It wasn't that short window. Feminism had beginning creeping in to rearing its head as early as I would say the 20s. But what happened was what kept it under control at first was the Great Recession. Before the Great Recession, things was okay before that collapse. And then that collapse kind of made people go, whoa, 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 whoa. This feminist thing need to hold on or whatever, because we don't want to do this shit that the men have to do. And it kind of checked itself. And then it started kind of peeking its head out again, I'd say in the late 50s. So it really started, it was like a 20-year period from 50 to 70 where the feminist movement just kept building and building and building and building. And then when they sold it to Black women, that was the final push that it needed. And it didn't just end in 1970. It's been very subtle and transformative ever since. It's taken on different shapes. It's transformed itself ever since the 70s. And something that Ketanji Brown Jackson said that really kind of put me off, set me off. And that's when I really started keying in and listening to her own words. And again, she's a brilliant woman. I somewhat can relate to her because we're in the same age group. She's only, 5 years older than me. She's about 51. I'll be 46 this year. So she's a Generation X as well. So we're not that far off. It's not like we're in different generations and, I just don't get her. Nothing of that. Nothing like that. Here's the problem I have with her. Sometimes, and I said this to you guys previously on other videos, everybody who got this skin isn't for you, and it's not intentional. Um, Sometimes you ladies, y'all focus on, well, I didn't intend to. Your intentions don't matter. The result is what matters. This is why you could take a ratchet chick and a PhD, and they're the same person. Look at the results. They got the same exact results. The woman with the highly educated woman got 2 kids and 2 baby daddies, just like the ratchet girl. They're virtually living the same lives. Only in the black community do you see that. You don't see that in with other cultures of women. You don't see a highly educated white woman being the same as a trailer park trash woman. You don't see that because there's a separation. We talk about class now. We talk about classism. There's a difference in the class. Again, we were sold this bill of goods that education somehow changes your class. And you have black women who have these aspirations of an upper middle class lifestyle. And very few black people live that in today's world or historically. At best, our grandparents were middle class, not necessarily working class. They were a notch above working class. In today's world, the vast majority of us are working class. We're not middle class. Household income of above $100,000 a year, that's not what black people do. Again, the average woman makes 37, the average man makes 42. Add those two numbers up. They don't come to $100,000. And that's just the minimum. Middle class is between 100,000 and 150,000. In Charlotte, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, places like that. Again, if you're in New York, Los Angeles, Boston, you gotta adjust for inflation upwards. So, and this is why a lot of you women, y'all say, I can't find a good man. I can't find a good man because y'all are in essence looking for a man who doesn't exist. And if he does exist, he doesn't exist where you live. Just doesn't exist. But y'all, it's not you're settling, like you have standards and you'll find a man who's slightly below your standard. That's how some of y'all think. What it is y'all are totally delusional. You should be right here. Don't think about it as vertical. Think about it as horizontal. And right here in the middle is where you should be. Y'all are way out here in right field off the scale somewhere. Y'all, in essence, and when we ask you the questions, clarifying questions to find out the type of man that you want, and you'll see Kevin do this all the time. Do you want to be able to, after your first child and you're pregnant with your first child and you're married, do you want to work to pay significant bills? He asks that question all the time. And a lot of y'all are confused because you already know what's coming. So because you don't have enough information to really intelligently answer the question, y'all start beatboxing. But when he starts peeling those layers back, the answer is usually no. Y'all want to be stay-at-home mothers. You don't want to pay significant bills, but you want 2 and 3 kids. And you want your kids to both be able to go to college. You want to live in a certain house. You want to be able to travel internationally, and you want to be able to do all of these upper middle class things. And that requires a man making $200,000-300,000 a year, which is not just a top 10% man. We're talking about a top 3 to 5% man. When you're not even close as that as a woman, you should be looking not for that man. You should be looking for the man who makes $40,000-50,000 a year. The everyday Joe. But it's like y'all have money to buy a $20,000 car, and y'all out looking for Mercedes, Bentleys, BMW 7 Series, Range Rovers, but you only got $20,000. That's the equivalent of how y'all look at men. I hope that makes more sense. I haven't heard anybody else use that analogy in that way. So hopefully that'll level set some of you. You got Ford money. You got Honda money. You don't have Bentley money, but y'all want a Bentley man. You want a Range Rover man. You want a Porsche truck man. You want a 7 Series man. And you don't qualify for it. I'm sorry. And what's funny to me is a lot of you same girls, you put your fathers on pedestals and your grandfathers on pedestals. They were average guys. A lot of them were below average. They were below average guys. Your grandmama got with him, or your mama got with him, stayed with him for 40 years. But for some reason, you think you need a man that's twice what your father was, twice what your daddy is. Your daddy was a 4. You want an 8. And if you don't get that 8, you're somehow settling. Because the average, and you ladies don't know how to rank men. The hell with ranking yourselves. This is why you all pick poorly. You don't know how to rank men. You just put all men in one category. So y'all, and a lot of times y'all, the man you describe in this fantasy is an 8, 9, or a 10. But then when we start looking at the men you've been with, your baby daddies, they were 1s, 2s, and 3s. Then, but you dissing, you ain't got no time for the 4s, 5s, and 6s, the average guy. That's where you need to be. But it's like y'all always go to extremes, one end or the other. It's extremely high end, and if you don't get that, you settle for the worst, or you end up with the worst. You pick the worst. You're not settling. You purposely pick the worst. Dudes with multiple baby daddies, because the average man, let's talk about it. The average man, 54% of Black men are single and childless. Of that group, 60% are in the middle class. This is where numbers and facts matter. So the average man is childless. So if you meet a dude, a 20-something-year-old dude who got multiple kids, he's below average. Because average is childless and in the middle class. So if you meet a dude who got multiple baby mamas living with his grandmother or his mama, he's below middle class. I mean, he's below average. He's a 1, 2, or a 3. It doesn't mean he's a bad guy. It doesn't mean he's not a fun guy. But he's below average. Same thing with yourselves. You do this with yourselves. The average woman, Black woman, we're not even talking about white women, we're talking about Black woman, is what? 5'6", and right now 180 pounds or something. That's in today's world. Somewhere around there. I could go off slightly one way or the other. 5'6", 180 pounds. So if you're 220, you're below average. I'm sorry. The numbers are what they are. So do something about it. And you still got to adjust for height. If you're taller, you're allowed to have more weight, of course. But you have to be realistic in that. But, I mean, let's put this in perspective. Mike Tyson in his prime was 5'11", 220. He was the heavyweight champion of the world. 5'11", 220 pounds. LeBron James is 6'9", and Alexa, how much does LeBron James weigh?
LeBron James weighs 250 pounds and is 6 feet 9 inches tall.
There you go. LeBron James is 6'9", 250 pounds. So how are you 5'4", 250 pounds? You're overweight. You're below average. I'm sorry. That puts you at 1, 2, or 3. I don't care how pretty your face is. When you start adding kids, that's assuming you're childless. You start adding kids to the scenario, that lowers the number. This is reality. This is just like a car, ladies. When you trade in your car or you have your car appraised, what will the dealer pay for your car? Or what would somebody pay cash for your car? The black book value of your car, not the Kelly Blue Book, the black book that the dealers go by. How did he do it? Does it got good tires? Do it got new tires on it? Good tires? Has it ever been in a wreck? Has it ever been painted? Does it got low miles on it? No, 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 no. That lowers the value of the car. And consequently, if you got low miles, never been in a wreck, good tires, the interior's clean, the car's been maintained well, your value goes up. Because there's an average. And you go up or down depending on how you stack up against the average. And some of y'all get so offended by this, where you don't even want to get on a scale. Because y'all think if you don't see it, it doesn't exist. That's not reality. And you wouldn't let a man get away with that. Oh, I'm not going to pay them bills I don't want to look at. I'm going to just throw them away every month. Y'all wouldn't let a man do that. You wouldn't let your children do that. Oh, man, it's homework. I don't see it. And then when your kids bring home the F's, you're going to be cussing them out. But y'all operate that way. Y'all want to hide what you don't like instead of doing something about it. And men pay attention to what you do. How much work are you willing to do? Y'all tend to put a lot of work into the things we don't care about. We really don't care about your hair as much as you do. We don't. We'd rather you wear your hair natural anyway. We damn sure don't care about your eyelashes. But look at the billions of dollars that black women spend on those two things right there, on their hair and their eyes. It's totally unnecessary. And that's how men look at it. To us, it's plain foolish. Just and the older a man gets, we have less patience for foolishness. I have no time for a 40-year-old woman who wants to act and behave like a 20-year-old woman. No patience. I'm sorry. I was accused recently of being selfish. And it's either your way or the highway. No. But when it comes to foolishness, you're absolutely right. If my way, if your way is me dealing with little girl foolishness, I have no time for it. None. I'll go get a younger woman. Why would I deal with a 40-year-old used car when I can get a brand new one off the lot? Comes with the same equipment you got and less miles. Why would I deal with it? But see, y'all think y'all are special. And he's going to fall in love with my specialness, and that's going to make him overlook this stupid shit I'm doing constantly. We're not talking about the occasional mistake. We're talking about constant behavior, a pathology. And some of y'all are so ingrained into this pathology, you don't even know you've been doing it for 20 years. 20 years worth of bad behavior is hard to change. And you don't have time. When you're 40-something years old, you have less time than a 20-year-old. And it's harder to do because you're so stuck in your ways. Why is this relevant? So, because this is these propaganda, and I've been using that word, these fantasies that society as a whole has been selling women. These fantasies, these delusions that y'all bought into. So, Ketanji Brown Jackson, they asked her a question, and her response was, I'm going to defend the Constitution, and I'm going to something with equality. And she also went further to say, she was born in 1970. I was born in 76 for reference. And things have gotten so much better for us, for our generation, than the previous generation. And I sat back like, the fuck is she talking about? This is a Harvard-educated woman. This is one of the most, y'all say, the most intelligent of the intelligent. This lady has a judicial mind. Here's where education doesn't mean intelligence. What she said is equivocally, falsely factual, untrue. It's factually untrue. It's a false statement. She has no citations to back up what she said. It's the same bullshit, very articulate how she said it, but it's the same substantive argument that the ratchet girls make with a high school diploma. The same exact argument. That black women are doing so well now. And thus, because black women are supposedly doing well, the black community is doing better than ever. This is false. She's a Generation Xer, just like me. And I just posted an article last night or the night before on my Facebook timeline. And it compared the generations. The baby boomers to Generation X to the millennials. And like I told y'all, each subsequent generation has gotten worse. So what data, what economic or any kind of indicator is she saying improved? I'll tell you, because this is a trope. It's not real. They say black women are more educated now. False. They say black women are the most educated or one of the most educated women in America. False, false. Black women are making so much money. False. What are they talking about? She's Harvard educated. She's in DC. She has access to the Census Bureau records just like all other Americans do. But her more specific, she's right there. right? She's a judge. She should have more discernment than the average person. These statements are not true. And this is who we're picking to shape legislation for future generations. Well, we can't, we're about to, but we shouldn't having people who think this way making laws and shaping policy going forward. Because the way she's thinking and perceiving reality through her propaganda lenses is distorted. It's untrue. She might as well be smoking weed. She might as well be high on the job. It's untrue. She's making legislation or going to be in a position to vote on laws and set policy with an understanding that Black people somehow got better from 1970 when she was born to now. That's untrue in any measurement that you use. It's not true. It's 100% false. So here's the problem I have. Because if I say this to a baby boomer, they're going to defend her and, oh, you're a Trump supporter and you're a Republican. And they're going to go with all the sign language and attack me, even though what I'm saying is 100% accurate. And I'm not a Republican. But that's how they dismiss what they don't like. They attack you with shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. This came from the baby boomers. And it's 100% false, the way this woman thinks. And she's an example of the American dream. That's not true. Let's talk about that. What is the American dream? First of all, the American dream never included Black people. It wasn't for Black people. It wasn't by Black people. It was a white man's dream. It was a white man, a white woman, 2 kids, and a dog in a house and a picket fence. That was the American dream. An apple pie sitting on the windowsill. That was the American dream. Niggas wasn't included. Wasn't no nigga neighbors in that picture. If there was a nigga in the picture, they made the apple pie and they was working in the kitchen. That's the only place we fit into that picture. We were the help. The picture, the American dream has never been revised. It's always been the same, and that's what it was, or is. We, on the other hand, are in captivity. We weren't fighting for the American dream. We were fighting for, hey, civil rights. Just treat me like a human. So where did we go from, hey, just treat me like a human to now I can get I'm competing for the American dream? Bullshit. Let me give you another fact. Education doesn't matter. Not for Black people. It doesn't matter. It hasn't changed the concentration of wealth, not 1 percentage point. It hasn't done it. Now, have some Black people or a small percentage, has it helped a couple of Black people here and there? Of course. We're not talking about the exceptions. We're talking about the rule. What's more likely to determine your access to the quote unquote American dream, more so than anything, the one number in your life is your zip code. The zip code where you were born determines more about your life than anything else you'll do. That's for the vast majority of Americans, white, Black, or otherwise. That's the sad truth. Now, are there things that we can do to make things better? Of course. The number one problem, I'm not going to list problems. The number one problem, listen up, in the Black community in today's world is marriage. You gotta fix the marriages. And it's not the black men, because black men get married at double the rate of black women. Hello. And the vast majority of women we marry are black. So don't say, oh, black men are leaving black women and they're going to other women. That's untrue. We need wives. We need women to stop being men and be women again like their grandmothers. That's what has to happen. So anybody analyzing the problems of Black America in today's world, and they don't address marriage. They're lying. I don't care what your party affiliation is. I don't care what your political ideology is. I don't care what your educational attainment is. If you're looking at the problems of Black America, honestly and objectively, you're going to come to the same conclusion. It's marriage. And when you look at when that problem started, it was 1970. You're going to get the same numbers because the data hasn't changed. And people have been saying this for 30, 40 years now. This isn't a new phenomenon. Van isn't saying some groundbreaking thing here. It's been the same. But this is where our leaders fail to see, because they benefit from the chaos and dysfunction. So they're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you things like education is the problem. Not true. Because again, our grandparents had less education and had more than us. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? How is education going to change Wells Fargo not refinancing Black homeowners, even though they have perfect credit? How would education change that? They already got education. These homeowners. We're not talking about new buyers. We're talking about existing homeowners, people with perfect credit. They never missed a payment. Why can't they refinance? Look it up. It's redlining. Education wouldn't change that. How is a Black woman getting more education going to help her son learn how to read? I'll wait. It hasn't worked in 50 years. How's it going to work now? That's not the answer. You got to start with the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem in the Black community is there is no community. There are no wives for the husbands to marry. And we're not talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays, that bottom 15%. We're talking about that 54% of men who are handling business and they're ready to go. They're single and they're childless and they're in the middle class. The vast majority of them. And it's so funny to me, the women that always talk about, you just saw this on Kevin tonight. I was watching Kevin tonight. That's why I came on late. I didn't want to interrupt him. The girl kept looking up and her damn eyelashes is flickering. Talking about she can't find no man. The reason you can't find a man because them goddamn eyelashes. She looked like she might have been a cute girl. Them damn eyelashes. Take that shit out in the fucking weave. Take that shit out. And the first girl he talked to, or the first one I saw, same thing. She had the weave and the eyelashes saying the same bullshit. Because when you do that shit, it's a mentality. That's what it tells men. Oh, here she goes. She one of them Keishas. And men just we don't walk across the street to get your attention. We go out of our way to avoid chicks like that. Why have I never heard this, Kevin? She down here in Dallas, Fort Worth area. Talking about she can't find a man. Because the men who we're talking about are avoiding women like you with 2 kids and eyelashes. We go out of our way to avoid them. And the other girl talking about, I want to have fun, and bitch, you almost damn middle-aged, trying to have spring breaks every year. Come on. It's time for y'all to grow up and stop acting like little girls. Y'all need to stop acting like men and little girls. That's what y'all are. Y'all like little spoiled little brats sometimes. And it's aggravating. Men don't cheat because a woman looks a certain way. They cheat because the woman they got is fucking aggravating. Uncooperative. That's why men cheat. Majority of the time. There's some men who are just cheaters. They're going to cheat no matter what. But y'all pick those. Those who y'all pick. Those are niggas who got 4, 5 baby mamas already. But y'all like them niggas because they fun. They got swag. They're exciting. You don't like a dude like me who at home reading. I'm boring. Y'all don't like boring. That's the problem. And I gave y'all, 2 examples? I gave you the Ketanji Brown, and I gave you the Ajanay Ellis, and I gave you the chick that Kevin talked to earlier today that went to the historically black college. I can't remember her name. Was Brony or something. I don't know. It was the only video he posted this afternoon. And it's the same mindset. He talked to 2 chicks who didn't go to college. Let's look at them comparing. 2 chicks who didn't go to college got baby daddies, right? And eyelashes. I'm able to compare that with an actress who's up for Best Supporting Actress award, who was next to Will Smith on the silver screen, and we can compare her with a woman who's going up for SCOTUS versus these 2 chicks that was just on Kevin's Instagram just a little while ago. All of them got the same mentality. So what the fuck did education do? They all think the same way. And coincidentally, the only one that's really making any money out of that group consistently is the judge. And she's about to get a bump in salary for life. Alexa, what is the salary of a Supreme Court justice?
In 2020, an associate justice received a salary of $265,600 US.
Hell, that was $267,000 just for an associate. So what is the Supreme Court justice? Alexa, what does the Supreme Court judge make?
This might answer your question. An associate justice receives a salary of $265,600 US.
Alexa, what is Clarence Thomas's salary?
Clarence Thomas has a salary of around $220,000 US. He is worth an estimated $1 million US.
Okay, so over 200,000. Let's just go there. I think it's higher than that. Over 200,000. He's a millionaire now. So this is what she basically hit the lottery because she's a woman, a black woman. She just hit the lottery. She's set for life. She's on that court for life now. That's gonna happen. And what her thinking and her mindset is no different from these ratchet chicks who didn't go to college, who never don't even know where Harvard is located. They got the same flipping mentality. Unreal. Unreal. Well, I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say. It's crazy. I think maybe Sunday or sometime next week. If not Sunday, I'll try to do it Tuesday and Thursday. I think I'm gonna start going live on Instagram on Tuesdays and Thursdays on a regular basis. Maybe even Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Some kind of schedule. I'm gonna work it out. I'm still playing with it, and that way I'll be able to also take live calls on on Instagram. I can do it now here on this, but I think I'm gonna start doing it on Instagram first because it's a different format. So give me a thumb up in my comment if you want to see that, or if you got another idea. So I was thinking Tuesdays, definitely Tuesday and Thursday. I'm gonna go live on Instagram at some point in the day. I don't know what time. I'm open to suggestion. I might even do it twice a day, kind of the way Crimson does hers. She does like a short one in the morning, and then around like 4:30, she does a longer one. I may do something similar where I don't contradict her time. I'm gonna respect her time and try to respect Obsidian's time as well. I just happen to be up now, and I was a little aggravated, so that's why I'm going late tonight. I don't like going late because I kind of cut into Kevin and cut into Tommy late at night, and I kind of try to respect other content creators' time that I tend to follow. I don't like to. We there's enough time in the day where we don't have to compete with one another. Um, but let me know what y'all think. Definitely like and share my video. Donate. Like and share on YouTube. Like and share on YouTube. And holla at your boy. And you know what? I'm thinking too. I may actually stop even broadcasting on Facebook for a little while. I don't know. I'm thinking about that and just focus solely on YouTube. Um, I may do that as well. Honestly, my Facebook audience is not interactive enough. Y'all don't like. Y'all watch my videos, but y'all don't really like. Y'all don't share. Y'all don't really comment. But y'all are watching, and I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just asking for a click the like button at the least. And for some reason, y'all just struggle with that. YouTube is a little bit better. But we're gonna see you on Instagram. I'm gonna start developing that audience as well. Holla at your boy. Like, share, and subscribe. Donate. Shaboy!